Alright, we're going to do a test fit and see how this door is fitting in the frame right now. So go ahead. This is an 18 gauge door, and without the hardware on it, it weighs around 93 pounds. So we've got like an additional 15 or 20 pounds of hardware on there with the panic bar and the closure. Our door in there for a test fit. If you notice, we have a nice gap right here, but as it comes down, it opens up. So what you want to do, take a hinge or a shim and put it between the jamb and the brick here. That'll help close up that gap. And now that we have the frame anchored, next thing you want to do is anchor your threshold. So you want to put it in place, you close the door and check that you have the right gap underneath it and that you're sealing up against this vinyl ball. So we already done that, and we're going to mark where to drill the holes with an 1/8 inch masonry bit. After we get our holes marked, we just take the threshold out. And come in with our 1/4 inch masonry bit and drill them out. Before you fasten the threshold down, it's a good idea to take it up, place a bead of caulking all across the front edge so it's underneath the threshold to keep water out. So now that you have your holes drilled through your threshold and you got your bead of caulking underneath the front edge, you got your plastic caps, plastic plugs in there for your screw, just go ahead and screw it in. And double check, make sure your door lines up with the seal on the washer. Ready to fill with mortar, and one thing I want to mention, this is a pre-finished frame, so what you want to do when you're filling with mortar, before you put it in the opening, it's best to duct tape all the hinge pockets and the strike plate area. That'll help keep the mortar from oozing out, because you don't really want to have a lot of mortar coming out on a nice pre-finished frame. So just duct tape all the openings in the back of the frame before you install it. Okay, we're going to fill the frame with mortar now. Now you can go out and buy an exotic cement pump, electric pump, and all that stuff. But I find the best thing that works for me is a 4-inch piece of plastic pipe with a funnel on the end of it. Maybe you put yourself a handle on it. And what you want to do is, on a pre-finished frame, put some duct tape around the opening so that the mortar doesn't scratch the paint. Just place the end in there and plunge away. Do a couple of these. Okay, now that we have the frame completely filled with mortar, and it's nice and solid, next thing I want to do is install a strike plate for the panic bar. Once you close the door and get the strike plate in position, you just want to mark it with a pencil here where you're going to drill your holes. After you mark it, just drill it. Okay, we got our strike mounted. So let's test it and see how it works. Sounds pretty good to me. While you're working on the rest of the door, this panic bar comes with a dogging device. Just take a little Allen wrench, comes with it, and you dog down the bar so that you can continue to work without worrying about getting locked out. Okay, the next thing we want to do is install the closer. So you want to disconnect the arm here and thread it onto the other arm. This is called a parallel arm closer. That means these arms are parallel with the door when the door is shut. Just screw this back until it lines up with this pin here. Once you get the arm threaded and it lines up with the pivot pin here, just snap it back down. You want to have your arm about maybe a good 1.5 inches away from the door. And everything's parallel with your header. Okay, let's open the door and see what kind of factory adjustment we got here on the closer. That's pretty fast. So we're going to make some adjustments here. There's 2 valves on the closer. One's marked L, one's marked S. S is for sweep. That's when the door is way out in this position here, and it's sweeping back. And then the L, the latch valve, takes over when it gets about 12 inches away from the frame, and that takes control of the door then. So to slow it down, you want to turn the valve clockwise. We'll start with the sweep valve. Give it a couple turns. That's a little bit too slow. Let's speed it up a little bit. Slow it down a little bit more. Okay, the sweep is all right, but now you notice the latch is hitting kind of hard. So let's slow down the latch a little bit. Speed that up a little bit. Okay, that's good there. Now we have to make one more final adjustment, and that's the back check valve. What that does, without the back check valve, this door would swing open and most likely hit this wall here and do damage to the door. So what you want to do, if the wind was to catch it, it would do damage to the door. So what you want to do is set your back check valve, which is located right here on the end of the closer. It says BC for back check. Just want to turn that clockwise. And when you shut the door and open it again, you're going to feel a springing tension inside the closer here, and it's going to slow down the door. It's going to cushion the door a little bit more. That's good right there, because you don't want it to open too far. That's a good strong cushion right there. This way, if on a windy day or anything, if the wind happens to catch the door, it'll slow down automatically. It's a great door saver device. Okay. All right. The next step is to install the weather strip, and what it consists of is a aluminum strip with a vinyl bulb, and it gets attached to the stop all the way around top and 2 sides. And they come with sheet metal screws. So all you do is measure your height and cut it to size and screw it on. We'll do that right now. Alright, now that we've got our weather strip installed, we're going to reinstall the alarm system. Alright, now that we've got our alarm set and making contact, next thing we want to do is set the pins on the tamper-proof hinges. These hinges are they're 4.5 by 4.5 stainless steel hinges. They also have a ball bearing inside the knuckle. And in the middle knuckle there's a set screw that makes the pin tamper-proof so you can't remove it from the outside. All you do is tighten that set screw with this Allen wrench. All 3 hinges. Now your hinges are tamper-proof, you can't remove the pin. Alright, we're almost finished here. All we have to do now is caulk the frame and do any touch-up on the door from any scratches that might have happened. Okay folks, this is the final product. If you're a young contractor just starting out and you're thinking about being interested in installing steel doors, I hope you learned something